right. I just met one of my buddies over here and at the coffee shop, at our favorite coffee shop, and he's a comedian. And he basically told me, go write comedy for the next show that he is having. And this time I want to try. I want to give it a shot.
Good morning.
Thank you.
You need me to on the AC?
I think it's good right now. It's good. Yeah, this is cold.
Okay.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Olivia. All right. All right. So, so yeah, we'll look into this. How to be a comedian. And then we will look into how other people have how to be comedians. Carry notebook on WhatsApp, capture observation, frustrations, read your thoughts, anything that makes you laugh. Chew them into jokes with a clear setup and punchline. What matters early. Most of what you write won't work. Do open mics, this is non-negotiable. Find local open mics. Find local open mics, comedy clubs, bars, coffee shops, and get on stage as often as possible, ideally several times a week. Stage time is how you learn timing, crowd work, what actually lands versus what just sounds funny in your head. Record your sets, listen back at what dies. Sharpen what works. Comedians improve by editing themselves ruthlessly. Develop a voice. Early on, you will imitate comics you admire. Develop a voice. Early on, you will imitate comics you admire. Over time, you find your own perspective, rhythm, and the topics only you can talk about. The distinct point of view is what separates working comics from people telling jokes. Early on, you will imitate comics you admire. Over time, you find your own perspective, rhythm, and the topics you can talk about. The distinct point of view is what separates working comics from people telling jokes. Build a tight FI. A polished 5 minute set is the industry's basic currency. It gets you booked spots, contests, and showcases and grow it to 10, 15, and beyond. Build a tight FI. Build a tight FI. Network and book yourself. Befriend other comic show consistently. Run a joint shows and eventually pursue paid gigs. Bring your shows and bar club bookings. Reputation in the local scene opens doors. Build an audience online. Short clips on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Grow a following that translates to tickets and bookings. Many more careers run on this. Be patient. Most comedians grind for years before it pays. The ones who make it are usually just the ones who didn't quit. Okay, give me quotes from some of the top comedians on what is their advice to beginners, like literally the first timers. Understanding half-remembered ones, the search turned to mostly blog advice rather than verified quotes from named top comedians. I don't want to be put fabricated quotes in name comics' mouth. Okay. On just getting stage time, Amy Schumer is blunt about the grind. She did whatever she had to do to get stage time. There were a million open mics and even stood on the street recruiting passerby. If you brought in 5 people, they will let you perform. Her summary of her own work ethic: I work my ass off when it comes to comedy. On embracing failure, Erica Rhodes makes a point most first-timers need to hear. A lot of people never try comedy because they are petrified of failure. But once you realize failure is the secret ingredient to all of learning. Maybe I don't even think I am buddy. This question. An open mic in a week. Invited me and gave me a spot. Erica Rhodes makes the point most first-timers need to hear. A lot of people never try comedy because they're petrified of failure, but once you realize failure is the secret ingredient to all learning, it loses power over you. She also frames an intimidating open mic room. An audience can be 3 people. And we are hosting this open mic in Network School, and I usually do not spend a lot of time with Network School people. I usually try to find my own silence outside the main campus and just work and build momentum and read books and go on walks and hop on calls. And yes, a lot of conversations during dinner tables help me. Once you realize really the secret ingredient to all learning loses all power over you. She also reframes the intimidating open mic room. It loses power over you on what your material should actually be about. Kevin Hart describes the exact moment beginners hit a wall. For his first few minutes, he ran on pure manic energy. This is crazy, have you ever? And thought he killed. Then they put him up for 7 minutes and he realized he had nothing else to talk about while everyone else was talking about something real. Mistakenly, the other comics talked about their family, their kids, their dislikes. Everyone else was talking about something real. The other comics talked about it, their family, their kids, their dislikes, their fears. Comedy is about opening up and being unique, but to a point where the audience can relate to what you're saying. Someone when you both are digital nomads. And they put him 7 minutes and he realized he had nothing else to talk about. Everyone else was talking about something real, their likes and their dislikes. Talk about your family. Talk about your likes and dislikes. And their fears. Welcome. Skötte det körszonen på kelsisjärer med Tayar och Senegal. Skötte körskivoante där så att plan de compensation da by da longo e une question. Le transfert un massage sur un sujet donné à un métier intéressant. Expecting to bomb, Sean Bannon keeps it simple. He remembers his first time on stage and it was brutal. But he also remembers the first time he made someone laugh, and that was the moment he knew he wanted to do this as a career. Arthur Mayer offers a cautionary version. He once wrote a 5-minute rhyming iambic pentameter story performed in an old British voice. So there's this very interesting thing that happened where I speak my name Prashant because I want to. It's both utility and beauty, but mainly utility. I want to clearly articulate all the letters in my name, so it's easier for people to understand what my name is and how do you spell that. But it's interesting that when I talk to it about it with some of my friends, they'll be like, who does this guy think he is? What does he think about himself? Because why is he saying his name in such a way? And there was this one person who literally said that you say your name as if it's Bugatti or something, as if it's Bugatti. Speak my name as if it's Bugatti. Speak the utility. I want to put my name, so for them to remember the spelling and the need to articulate. What does he think about it? Expecting to bomb. Sean Bannon keeps it simple. He remembers his first time on stage and it was brutal. But he also remembers the first time he made someone laugh, and that was the moment he knew he wanted to do this as a career. Arthur Mayer offers a cautionary version. He was sort of 5-minute rhyming iambic pentameter story performed in an old British voice and completely bombed. Not one laugh, sucking the energy out of the whole room. Okay, talk about your experience in India. To Venice versus coming to Venice from India, from Vancouver. Venice is a downgrade from India. Venice is a massive upgrade. Okay. Really cool. Really cool. On the community side, Maria Bamford's advice is that the scene is yours to build. Open mics are a wonderful, easy place to try material and to connect with other comedians. It's very easy to start one yourself. If you don't get enough support, it's like a free class. And if you don't like the shows, you make your own. Or one rule, just don't go over your time. The recurring thread across all of them: get on stage constantly, expect to bomb, talk about something real, and don't fear failure. You don't even think I'm funny. The feeling is so common, it's almost a rite of passage. Most working comics will tell you they didn't feel funny when they started either. They felt terrified. My feeling is so common, it's almost a rite of passage. Most working comics will tell you they didn't feel funny when they started either. They felt terrified and unsure, and being funny turned out to be a skill you build on stage, not a fixed trait you either have or don't. The comic in that article didn't start with confidence. Sean Pannon's first time was brutal. Kevin Hart bombed onesie, ran past 3 minutes, now gone. Think of when you were doing badly first, and here's the thing about this one, your buddy gave you a 1 week open mic spot is the lowest stakes possible version for this. The room is completely other comics. Read the tone, nobody there expects polish. People literally watch first timers bomb every single line, think nothing of it. It's a normal texture of an open mic, not a disaster. The bar isn't be hilarious. The bar is go up, say your stuff, come down. Go up, say your stuff, come down. If you get one chuckle, that's a genuine win on the first try. Few things that might lower the wall. You don't need to be naturally funny. You need 5 minutes of material you tested by saying out loud. Write about stuff that actually annoys or amuses you. Read it aloud. Cut what feels skunky. Keep what makes you smirk. That's most of the work. The embarrassing story move is reliable with most genres. Audiences root for honesty, and it takes the pressure off telling jokes. Bailing early is allowed. If you run out, just say thanks and step off. No shame and record it on your phone. Even if it goes badly, you learn more from listening back than from a great set. Worst realistic case, you have an awkward 5 minutes, your buddy buys you a drink after and you have a story off the floor. The ceiling is you find out you actually like it. Can I ask? Can I ask what's the actual fear underneath? Is it I'll have nothing to say, I'll freeze up? Or people will think I'm not funny, depending on which one I can help you prep for the specific thing. Okay. Cool. It actually changes the texture of this in your favor as far as naming why you're describing yourself as someone who keeps to the edges. Walks in silence, walks, reads, will momentum alone, and gets you social input and concentrate close at dinner tables rather than constant immersion. That's not a liability for comedy. A lot of people who are funny on stage are exactly this type of observers, not the loudest person in every room. The person constantly performing socially often has nothing left to say on stage. The person who hangs back and watches has been quietly collecting material the whole time. Your dinner table conversation, the stuff you notice on walks, the gap between how you live and how everyone else. also specific if you're in a situation you have built-in premise with a guy who avoids the main campus and finds his own silence in the room you'd be performing for is the very crowd you keep your distance from. Okay, now I'm thinking of content. Now you're thinking of the content, so this is interesting. The room you'd be performing for is the very crowd you keep distance from. That's the real angle. I don't usually hang out with you people. It is said the right way, a generally funny and disarming open. Wow. It's also interesting, like, do you keep it philosophical? Do you keep it very context specific? Do you keep it very network school specific? Do you make it very, do you talk about the people? Do you talk about the institution? Do you talk about, yeah, it's very interesting. I don't usually hang out with you people. It's said the right way, generally funny and disarming, open, it's honest. It's a little self-aware. It tells the room you see the dynamic clearly. Comedy loves the kind of true observation about the immediate situation. So the move isn't to suddenly become a network skill social butterfly this week. It's the opposite, lean into the being the outside of the room. Notice the things about NS culture, the personalities, the rituals, the way people their talk that you only see because you stand a little apart from it. I totally forgot this friend's name with who just showed me the comedy thing. Wow. I totally forgot his name. You have a built-in premise. You're the guy who avoids the main campus and finds his own silence. The room you'll be performing for is the very crowd you keep your distance from. That's the real angle. I don't usually hang out. I don't usually hang out with you people. Comedy loves that kind of true observation about the immediate situation. So the movie isn't necessarily becoming a social butterfly. It's actually really cool. As I'm reading this, I have so many ideas coming up, and we're just like writing. We're just writing. It's honest. It's a little self-aware. It tells the room you see the dynamic clearly. Comedy loves that kind of true observation about the immediate situation. So the move isn't to suddenly become a network social butterfly. It's the opposite. Lean into being the outsider in the room. living at the frontier, bro. We're living at the frontier. We're living at the frontier. We're living at the frontier, bro. We're living at the frontier, bro. No watermelons. We need to kind of create a. It would be really cool to create like a hook line, and keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. No watermelons. We live on the frontier, bro. We live on the frontier, bro. No Wi-Fi. We living at the frontier, bro. We living on the frontier. We living at the frontier. We living on the frontier. We living on the frontier. We living at the. We living on the frontier. We living at the frontier. We living at the frontier. No hot water. We living at the frontier, bro. We living at frontier, bro. We living frontier, bro. We living frontier, bro. It's the frontier life. It's the frontier life. It's the frontier life. Frontier life. Frontier life. Frontier life. Frontier life. Frontier life, bro. 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 I think we gotta stop calling. We are living on an island owned by a tech. Islam the world right now. Owned by tech billionaire. I think again very interesting. We not a good image, not a good image. This is actually cool. What is the definition of frontier? Bring change with your comedy. Bring change with comedy. It's interesting. Personality is a rituals, the way people they're dark, and you only see because this channel is apart from it. His observations are funnier. Careful what you do. You might become my material. Your fuck up is my material. Those observations are for you coming from you, then someone narrating it daily. You don't have to change who you want to do this. You have to point the thing you already do. Observe from the edge at the room for 5 minutes. Does the idea of doing what you love on network school itself appeal to you? Were you thinking of going somewhere more personal and general? Frontiers a few related meanings depending on context. Yeah, I feel this seems like the right strategy. Yeah, observing people, and I still have 1 week, so now I can just experience network school from that lens. Most of us are suffering from this visa situation. Don't you going on an island owned by a tech billionaire? Immigration officers thing. And they see all these little men going to the same hotel on this unknown island that no one in Malaysia gives a shit about. Except the families. Show up on the weekends for the swing. For the swimming pool. I'm really curious what the local think about us. And suddenly they come across this hotel and this massive, you see a massive flood of foreigners packed into one hotel. What kind of vacation is this? What are you doing on your laptops? What are you not eating our food? Is it possible? You can afford to live in a five-star hotel. Sweaty dude. How is it possible that you can afford to live in a five-star hotel but you choose to live in a sweaty? How is it possible that you can afford to live in a five-star hotel but you choose to live beside a sweaty dude? How is it possible that you can afford to live in a five-star hotel? How is it possible? Or live in a five-star hotel but you choose to sleep beside a sweaty dude? How is it possible that you can afford to live in a five-star hotel but you choose to sleep but you still choose to? How is it possible that you can afford to stay in a five-star hotel but not enough to get your own room? Why do you have to sleep with a sweaty dude? Does the other doing what you get about out of school itself appeal to you, or were you thinking of going somewhere more personal and general? Frontier has a few rare meanings depending on context. The most basic one is geographic. A frontier is the border, a boundary region between two countries or territories, the line where one ends and another begins. In British usage especially, frontier often just means the national border itself. The second more evocative sense comes from the idea of a settled region, outer edge, the zone beyond which land is unsettled, wild or unexplored. The second more evocative sense comes from the idea of a settled region's outer edge, the zone beyond which land is unsettled, wild or unexplored. This is the American frontier of westward expansion. The villas, the ghost villas. Frontier is the border boundary between two countries or territories, the line one ends and another begins. Land is unsettled. Why not explore this the American frontier or westward expansion, the moving line between developed territory and wilderness? Various connotations of the unknown of opportunity and danger sitting just past the edge of most established. From that grew the figurative meaning, which is probably the most common one today. The furthest limit of knowledge achievement or development in some field, the edge of what's currently possible, with the unexplored stretching beyond it. The frontiers of science, pushing the frontier of AI, the final frontier. Here, a frontier is less a place than a leading edge, the boundary between what we have mastered and what we haven't yet. What is the definition? What is a frontier? What is frontier? Frontier is the boundary between what we have mastered and what we haven't yet. I haven't been mastered. Why haven't you mastered the spice level by tofu? Why haven't you mastered it? The common thread across all three is the same idea, an edge between I don't know if it feels right to live in a hotel forever. Will always stay in a hotel room. I want an empty white box. I have a desire. Take an empty white box, fill it with cheap IKEA. Furniture. I have a desire to take an empty white box, fill it with cheap IKEA furniture. Big mortgage. Until my dad's pay my mortgage in ringgit. Then pay my mortgage and ringgit unto death. The common thread across all the same idea edge between the known settled and the unknown explored, whether that edge is a literal border of physical wilderness or the limit of human understanding. That edge is literal border. I want to explore the depths of Forest City. I want to explore the depths of Forest City. Anybody with a contest you're asking about, the word shows up a lot in Tekken Stardom. Alright, this is so interesting. We got a lot of interesting stuff done. We'll come back again. Merci.